God damn it!
Oh, there you go. It's fixed. All right, wanted to say all that again.
For fuck's sake!
Run it back, play
Oh
hard.
God! Okay,
It's any
well,
consolation that the guy's voice is really good.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's
Good to hear.
it was
Yeah.
a really good intro.
just nailed the whole intro.
you guys
Just have to trust us. It was awesome.
Yeah, well, let's give you the abridged version then. So, welcome back to the Boys Play D&D, everyone, for real this time. So I'm Blake, otherwise known as Seraph, or Wendell in our other campaigns, and I'll be starting Tomb of Annihilation as the DM for the boys. So, with the third long-form campaign, we're going to be switching one out every week. So every DM should have a week off every third week or so. And for this campaign, we're going to be using Meat Grinder rules. These rules will affect the DC of death saving throws, make it a DC 15, and creatures that have their maximum hit points reduced by some sort of effect, that becomes more or less permanent.
Can you see
So,
if the audio sounds scuffed as fuck?
Is it still scuffed? It sounds like it's coming. All right, anyways. I have to do this a third time, I swear to God. All right. Without further ado, the adventure begins in the mercantile city of Baldur's Gate. For the past several days, the talk of the streets and taverns has all been about the so-called death curse, a wasting disease afflicting everyone who's ever been raised from the dead. Victims grow thinner and weaker each day, slowly but steadily sliding towards the death they once denied. When they finally succumb, they can't be raised, and neither can anyone else, regardless of whether or not they've been raised in the past. Temples and scholars of divine magic are at a loss to explain a curse that has affected the entire region and possibly the entire world. You've all been invited to the home of Sindra Sylvain, a retired adventurer and merchant, and as you all approach the front door and give it a hearty knock, a uniformed attendant opens the door and regards you. Oh, good. Miss Sylvain is expecting you. Please come in. He leads you inside to an opulent entryway. Large ivory columns form the foundation of a grand staircase across the room from you, while the walls to your left and right are adorned with colorful paintings, hanging trophies, and framed plaques. Across the tiled marble floor, you see a fine silken rug leading up to the stairs, and placed in the center of the room, you see a small table made of varnished hardwood. Atop the table, you see several bottles of fine wine, a handful of silver goblets, large silver platters, each piled with high with hors d'oeuvres, bunches of fruits, and blocks of aged cheeses. 4 armed house guards stand at the ready in the room, 2 at the base of the stairs, and 1 against each of the walls. The attendant addresses you once more. Please make yourselves at home and help yourselves to wine and hors d'oeuvres. I shall go see if Miss Sylvain is ready. He then crosses the room and ascends the staircase to the 3rd floor. So, as you all take in this room, let's start with Morovicree, if you would like to introduce yourself.
All right, in my defense, Blake's the guy who tells me if audio is scuffed or not.
You know, fair point.
All right, so yeah, I'm playing Morovicree. I am by appearance, a humanoid. I have long, flowing violet hair and very vibrant purple eyes. I'm about 6 feet tall and pretty slender. My character would typically be wearing a lot of purples, pinks, whites, and grays. And her, I guess, most prominent outfit piece would be a kind of long white overcoat that hangs way down below her knees. On my right arm, when I don't have my coat on, you can see a very swirly purplish tattoo.
All right. Entering the room with you, your friend Samson, if you would like to describe yourself.
Alright, so Samson is about 6'8" tall, but would be taller if it stands straighter. I've taken wearing a hood to hide my features. I have very dry and cracked skin. If you can get a look at my face, Sorry, I got my voice a little bit off here.
Mhm.
My teeth are very crooked and jagged. Um, da, da, da. I wear a leather jerkin and waist wrap, and am rarely seen without my massive maul. It's just really, really big. I'm hunched over and very imposing.
Right. You two enter this opulent entryway. What would you like to do? Four other adventurers, persons, you're not quite sure, have also entered with you.
I guess I would kind of lean forward and go. Think this is worth the time and the effort? Oh, sorry, did I through?
Yep.
I think he was talking to Brighton.
Oh yeah,
So I
Oh.
assumed.
sorry. I was asking.
I thought you were addressing the
more
other
guy.
adventures.
No, I was addressing you. I'm not talking to any of this right now.
Yeah, I think so. We traveled all the way here, so it better be.
Right. But it's
All right. Next up, a elven man, Zeno. If you would like to describe yourself.
All right. Zeno is about 6'2", very pale, slender, like on the point of being emaciated looking. Um, elven man or woman, you can't quite tell because of how thin he or she is. Um, their eyes are also very sunken and empty looking, uh, as if they've just witnessed a great tragedy. Zeno would be kind of hanging around as far away from anybody else that they could be in the room, and just kind of like looking off into space.
All right. As I conveniently remember now that Cobron also entering with Samson and Morovicree. If you would like to describe yourself.
Hey. Cobron is a green dragonborn fighter. As far as dragonborn go, he's pretty fucking rough and ugly looking. He's got dirty, brownish, dark green scales, big scars across his face, brown eyes, some broken teeth. Wearing chainmail and a bunch of bone necklaces and bracelets. And he generally just looks pissed off.
All right. Kruitov, you would like to go next.
All right. Ah. Kurutov enters the room, standing about 6'6", tall, gangly man, wearing a fucking fairly outrageous suit. Kind of the collar is reminiscent of one of those jester hats with the long little, like 4 points with bells on the end. He's got a top hat with playing cards in it, and you might notice his face. He's got white face paint. One eye's got a red diamond, the other's got a green artificial red smile on him. And he is fiddling with a little metal device at the moment as he walks in.
All right. And last but not least, Dirge, if you would like to describe yourself.
Dirge is a red tiefling with horns. Comes in wearing a red cloak with his hood currently down. He would have waltzed right into the room, sat down at the table, kicked his feet up, and started eating with little concern as to everyone around him.
All right. So as you wait in this room, a short time later, the attendant returns. Miss Sylvain is ready for you. Please come with me. Grabbing whatever drinks or small plates of food you had acquired, he leads you up to the grand staircase, up to the third floor, and ushers you into a wood-paneled room with a fireplace, comfortable chairs, and a heavy table bearing more goblets and bottles of wine. The darkly paneled walls are hung with maps and sea charts. Racks and shelves and cabinets hold hundreds more rolled up maps and charts. You see a person sitting in an overstuffed chair near the fire. Only the person's head emerges from under a heavy blanket draped over the chair. An embroidered hood with a silver mask conceal the wearer's face, making it difficult to discern their gender or any other features. The person speaks in a dry, raspy voice that fails to provide any clue as to who they may be. Help yourselves to wine and seat yourselves, friends. I hope I may call you that. As you do as they instruct, I am Sindra Sylvain, and I have summoned you here under the most dire of circumstances. I'm sure by now you've heard of the death curse.
I nod.
This is the moment where we wait and figure out who's going to be the face.
I've heard about it briefly in passing, but not in any detail.
Kind
Are
of
you
second
familiar
hand
with the
here.
curse?
I'm a stand-in for Mr. O'Brien, so...
Yes. I was wondering why he did not come. But it is good to meet you as well.
Yeah. Should be a competent replacement when I'm not clowning around.
Oh!
I've changed my mind. All right.
Are we really starting this session off with puns? Is that the campaign we're setting for ourselves?
The bar's already been placed on the floor with the scuffed intro.
You know what? That's fair.
They continue. I can assure you, the death curse is no mere rumor. You see, I myself was an adventurer many years ago. I had died once before and was raised from the dead. I have since turned over a new leaf from that stage in my life, although it has now come back to haunt me. My contacts within the harbors have learned something of this death curse. It is caused by a necromantic artifact known as the Soulmongerer, and they believe it to be somewhere in the peninsula of Chult. I don't suppose any of you would be familiar with the place.
Would those of us that work in that kind of field have maybe a general idea of it?
Could roll a history check, if you so desire.
I will be doing that. If I can find my
Moreover,
character
you
sheet.
could roll with advantage.
Oh, my advantage query is not on the sheet.
Oof.
But
Yeah,
history
I
just...
gotta switch mine off. Yeah, Uncle.
Hmm.
Me too. All right. Moreover, you've heard of it. It's far to the south of Baldur's Gate. At the very least, a week's travel by boat. Schultz's Peninsula, ringed with mountains and rainforests. You know that is home to many enormous reptiles. And many jungle-choked ruins, and an army of undead that prowls the jungle.
Yeah, that sounds familiar to me. I believe it's south of here. Very jungly. Patrolled by an army of undead. That part rang a bell.
Yes. There is one vestige of civilization on the peninsula. A marvelous port city named Port Nyanzaru. Working dozens of charts and logbooks, I've assembled everything of the current state of Chult into a single map, and I will provide it to you if you are to undertake this task. If you would be able to go to Chult and find and destroy the Soulmonger, not only saving my life, but the lives of countless others. I, of course, do not ask this of you in exchange for nothing. You see, I've grown quite wealthy over the years, and have a private collection of magical artifacts. One to each of you, should you complete this.
What might some of these magical artifacts be able to do?
Anything a common to rare magical artifact can do.
Well, that's very enticing. How long ago was the last known people to travel to Chult?
Last to travel by boat here in Baldur's Gates. Excuse me. The Flaming Fist maintains an outpost there. They send patrols and caravans that way every 10 days or so. I believe the last one left earlier this week.
I guess I have one other question. If the curse is this strong, how do you expect us to destroy the object causing it?
Be honest, you're not the first group of adventurers I've sent here. I'm sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel. That being said, people with intelligence, ingenuity, wisdom, or even brute strength can make a difference where possible. And I believe wholeheartedly that you may do the same.
When I was recalling my knowledge of Chult, did it seem very similar to what I've seen of the city of Amu, like in terms of architectural and like vegetation style?
It'd be similar. It definitely wouldn't be like a one-to-one, but there would be elements that would be shared between the two.
Oh, almost.
God.
Can we change the city name, Blake? Now that Logan said that pun.
You just smite Krutov.
Yep. Rocks fall, Krutov dies.
Strict D&D is too late, no take backsies.
No.
Maury, just tell me the word.
Well, I don't know most of these other people. Wait, that's the wrong voice. I don't know most of these other people, but...
And that's Gerbeck.
No, I was trying not to go that high-pitched. I don't know most of these other people, but I'm definitely willing. I'm sure
This
there'd
one
be.
accepts your quest. As I just slowly blink.
An artifact, you say?
Yes.
Hmm.
Not only the boons I'm. The ruins of Chult themselves hold treasures unimaginable for those who are willing to brave them.
What about knowledge?
I'm sure you'll find that in abundance as well. You see, the map here I will provide for you. As she kind of unrolls it to reveal this.
Oh,
Yeah, it might take a second to load.
Camp Righteous.
It's loading exactly like that
Summer
scuffed
camp.
algorithm I wrote.
that's what.
Yeah, once it loads, it'll be a lot
Holy
higher
shit.
res.
Yep. The Mist Cliff.
There we go.
Where are we right now?
You're
Not
in
here.
Baldur's Gate. You're not here yet.
Oh.
Much to the north.
Yeah.
We're gonna be wanting to go there to start with.
Where it says
sounds like.
party, I'm guessing.
Port Nianzaru is there, yeah.
Where does it say party? I don't see
If
that.
you
on
zoom
my-
into the hex that says Port
Oh.
Nyanzaru, it says party.
Like your
Oh, I
drawing
gotcha.
skills have improved quite a lot since your last campaign.
True.
All right. All right. She unrolls the map and shows it to you, and you see all of this empty space within the peninsula itself. Much of the peninsula is unexplored, or charts or maps of the area have long been lost. Exploring such a place is a task that would require months, if not years. There is certainly much knowledge to gain here.
This is probably the first time you'd start to see Samson kind of perks up a little bit at the idea of exploring some unknown locations, but not enough to get the hunch in the back to go away.
Morovakri is pretty visibly excited about the idea of it.
Rutof's rubbing his fucking hands together thinking about it.
I'm still just chowing down on food and wine.
I'll take that as a yes. When you're ready, I can get you to Port Nianzaru in the blink of an eye. But before I send you on your way, you should seek out a friend of mine in the city. His name is Wakonga Otamu. He is one of the 7 merchant princes who rule the city. I will provide you with a letter of introduction. You see, Wakonga is a very busy man, but he is aware of the circumstances and can most likely be found at his home in the Merchant Ward.
All right.
If there's nothing else, she kind of taking a minute or so to stagger up from the chair, the blanket kind of falling off to the floor. You see an ornate robe, but all parts that it doesn't cover are wrapped with bandages, tightly wrapped. Well, she looks to her uniformed attendant. I believe a small advancement should be in order. The attendant nods and produces each of you a coin purse containing 50 gold pieces.
First loot of the campaign.
We're rich.
Hey, we can retire.
Fat stacks.
I was just gonna say, Xeno's retiring now.
I I could transfer so many spells with 50 gold.
This is true. Now, if you would all please grasp the hand of the one next to you.
I
I'd put my
grasp it.
hand on. I would just put my hand on Cobran's shoulder and kind of grab onto Moro's Moro Valkyrie's wrist.
I don't know who's to my left.
I,
But,
I would
I'll reach
very
out.
gingerly reach out to Morovakri.
Oh!
I would just reach out to whoever's closest to me.
I would return this hand on the shoulder to Samson and then reach my hand out to whoever's to me.
Alright.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I'm probably in between Cobrahan and your Dirge, Mitch?
Yeah.
Probably in between you. Well, whoever's on the right, when our hands connect, a bunch of sparks fly off. And we're like, oh, we got an electric connection here.
Oh no.
It was Dirge.
It's Dirge, alright.
All right.
Even if he didn't kill O'Brien, I'm not letting this guy live.
Woo!
Just kidding.
Well,
And then I move my buzzer to my pocket and actually take his hand.
well, good luck. With the snap of a finger, as a stream get ready for maybe scuffed audio.
As we're teleporting away, you would hear me go, "The one that got away."
Alright.
What was her name again? I keep saying Silvira.
It was Sindra Sylvain. In an instant, you appear in a tropical city under the blazing oppressive sun. That is not the right ambience. What are you doing? Anyways, fuck it. You hear
No,
those
you gotta fix
familiar
it.
stuff. God damn it! All right. Give me 1 second.
Need to be immersed.
You hear Copacabana start playing.
Brew.
My name is Cuban Pete.
That is loud as shit. Oh, that's why I didn't change the link I was using. There we go. Wait. Oh, fuck, it's in a queue. God damn it. Is it working? No, it isn't. Professional streamers, by the way. There we go. Assuming it starts playing. Oh, fuck it. The familiar sounds of a harbor, creaking ropes. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Bryden. Creaking ropes. Wait, it's the same. Oh, fuck it, we're going with it. The familiar sounds of a harbor, creaking ropes, slapping waves, heavy barrels rolling across cobblestones, mingle with voices shouting and cursing in an unfamiliar language. An aroma of unfamiliar spices and tropical fruit mix in the air, with the wharfside smells of tar, fish, and canvas. Beyond all that, Port Nyanzaru is an absolute explosion of color. Buildings are painted with bright shades of blue, green, orange, pink, or their walls are adorned with murals portraying Jesus Christ, giant reptiles and mythical heroes. Every building sports baskets and clay urns of colorful flowers or is draped in leafy flowering vines. Minstrels in bright clothing adorned with feathers and shells perform on street corners. Multicolored pennants and sun awnings flutter atop the city walls. A crowd of children dressed in feathered hats and capes races past you, squealing in delight and terror. As a street performer, costumed as a big-toothed lizard, stomps and roars behind them. The whole city is bustling, sweating, laughing, swearing, and singing, all in a unique cacophony. Welcome to Port Nyanzaru.
Did I miss something? Are they mostly speaking common, or are they speaking a different language?
They are speaking a different language.
Uh-oh.
It is. It sounds. It has filled with inhalations, clicks, and sing-songy words that make it sound almost musical. And as you look around, Jesus, there we go. Adjust your audio accordingly.
To what? Nothing changed.
What the fuck?
It's still just birds.
Yeah, it's still a jungle ambience.
I have no idea what the hell is going on then. Yeah, for some reason my audio is bugged. And I have no idea where it's coming from.
I'm just gonna.
Is it Rhythm
1
Bot?
second while I fix this.
Can we go to the oof screen?
I'm gonna pee quick.
Yeah, let's go to the oof screen.
Alright, we'll go to oof screen.
Why the absolute hell?
So are we no longer live when oof goes up?
Uh,
Are we still coming through
we're
stream?
still coming through, yeah. This
really-
has got to be the most scuffed.
It's really adding to
Opening
the
we've
oof
had.
scene. Alright, now I'm turning off sound.
Okay.
See you guys in like 5 minutes.
And the scuffling continues. But we are back. So,
We just appeared on the dock.
yep, you're in the harbor ward. And I'll actually switch you over to a map of Port Nyanzaru.
New scenes, Pog.
So you would appear around here.
And we had to go find somebody at the market ward, right?
Merchant ward. Which
Oh, I didn't
is-
Oh.
see. Oh, right there.
Convenient.
All right. So, as you look around, I will show you some examples of shelters. Show it everywhere. Go. You can see that. Bright and colorful clothing.
Is that it? Just bright and colorful clothing?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
And it's hot as balls, you said?
It is hot as balls.
good thing I brought a giant overcoat.
Yeah. Within, like, minutes of being here, you guys are already sweating.
Not me.
Oh yeah,
Who did-
tiefling.
Who did we say that? Who did she say that we were supposed to go talk to? I should be paying better attention, I suppose.
Good question.
Well, I was paying attention, just didn't, Brighton wasn't paying enough and missed that name.
She mentioned one of the merchant princes of the city, Wakanga Otamu.
Oh, I did write it down, I'm an idiot.
Hmm?
Wakongo Otamu.
People enjoy places like this.
Depends who you ask. Me? No. Them? Probably.
Seems excessive.
Agreed.
I don't know. It's definitely different from places I've been. It's definitely new. So that's good, right?
At the very least, it's unique.
So what would you like to do?
Head towards the merchant's ward.
Okay. Are you just trying to head there randomly, or do you want
I guess yeah. We've got the map here, but I don't think we would.
Oh yeah,
she
she
have this map.
she
Walk
gave
up
us
and
a,
start clicking at someone to see if they understand me.
she gave us the map of the peninsula, but not the city, right?
Yes, you have the map of the peninsula, but not of Port Nianzal.
All right.
Perhaps we should ask for directions.
You sound so sad.
Anybody speak common around here?
Uh,
Anybody reply?
A few people stop and they go, yes, most of us do. You look like you're new here.
You
very.
could say that.
I mean, really, what gave it away? The clown paint?
Honestly, it's not the strangest getup I've seen. He kind of like points over to a bunch of street performers. And then there was the guy who was walking past in the giant lizard suit.
Hey,
Yes, it's very lively around here.
Yes. We need directions to. What the fuck is Wakanda? Fuck to.
We're looking for Wakongu Otamu.
There we go.
Oh, you're serious?
And ideally, a map of the city would be fantastic.
Well, you could certainly find a map at either the Grand Souk or the Red Bazaar.
Where?
From where you are, it kind of like points in that direction, and this map is actually to scale, so you can drag.
This map is to
Over there.
scale.
Yeah, drag a ruler, and it actually is to scale.
You're telling me this dock is holy shit.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Hey, now how can I make the "this is only 10 feet away" joke?
You can't.
Bamboozled
Wanted you
again.
once again. Anyways,
That's where the point.
so he points over in this direction.
That-
That
It's 1,000 foot around a wall.
That way would lead you to the Grand Souk, and further on would be the Red Bazaar. If you're planning on going to one of the merchant prince's houses unannounced, I would advise against that.
We have a letter of introduction.
For your sake, I hope it's from someone of importance. But you could find Wakanga's abode, and he kind of like gives you roundabout directions in like this kind of area.
Okay.
I'm gonna look deep into his eyes and say, "Would you lead us there?"
First NPC die roll the campaign. Oh my god. If you see this gentleman just go, like, his jaw almost hit the floor. He places a hand upon your shoulder and just goes, "Oh, of course." And he begins to lead you to Wakonga's villa.
As we're doing that, I'm very curious and trying to keep a lookout for possible like food vendors.
In this area, you don't see too many.
Okay.
There are certainly a few, but their stalls are pretty small, and it doesn't look like this is kind of the right area for a lot
Gotcha.
of food vendors.
Okay, I would move on.
All right. As soon as I find my proper sheet here. Was it? No, it wasn't. Here we go. All right. You're led up to a large villa. You see, this is both a tropical home and an extremely wealthy individual, and a well-guarded fortress. A 2-foot thick stone wall surrounds the property, and it looks as though it could shrug off the impact of a ship's cannon. Atop the wall, you see glittering shards of broken glass, sharpened spikes, and curved iron blades. The main gatehouse is watched over by half a dozen well-armed Chultan guards. The gentleman who has been leading you points you towards the gatehouse and says, "Oh, that's the wrong voice. Well, good luck," and begins to wander off and go about his business.
Many thanks.
All right. I'm assuming you guys want to head to the main gates.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. You approach the main gates, and you notice in the walls what appear to be suits of armor that are kind of carved on either side of the gate. 2 guards interpose themselves between the gates and you and say, "Stop! What business do you have here?"
Funny business.
We're
If you have no business here, I suggest you keep walking.
As I hand him our letter of introduction.
Make a persuasion check.
Funny business.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
What's my first actual roll of the game?
12. All right. It's kind of like a scowl takes the letter and opens it. The guard takes a moment to read over the letter before handing it back to you. Gives you a nod. He and the other guard step aside as the iron gates swing open, and the guard you're speaking to begins to lead you into the grounds. The gates open to reveal a grand courtyard, dotted with colorful gardens and patrolling guards. You're led to the doors of a large villa, painted with odd, angular, and precise lines. The guard leading you speaks a word in an unfamiliar language, and the doors swing open. You're led through the doors into a breezy and tiled entryway. 2 more guards stand at the foot of a large fountain surrounded by greenery. Beyond them, to the back of the room, you see it exits to a grand hall, through a brightly painted archway. While to the left and right of the fountain, you see 2 similar archways, leading to a small powder room on the left and a comfortable sitting room to the right. The walls hold several burning torches that flicker in odd ways and cast no heat from the flames. You also hear the soft playing of music, but from where it originates, you're unsure. The guard turns to you and says, "Feel free to freshen up if you need to." He points over to the powder room. "And then wait in the sitting room," pointing over to the sitting room. "I will get Wakonga." He proceeds past the fountain and up the stairs.
The powder room.
This small powder room has a wash basin and what looks like a kind of bar of soap
No powder.
No, it's just a name. Into the wash basin, though, you see water trickling from above from a kind of series of almost like aqueducts. And the wash basin seems to not be overflowing, no matter how long you look at it. The water level appears unchanged.
That's neat. Alright, to the sitting room.
As we're kind of clustering up and around there, I kind of look around at the group and. All right. So my name's Samson. I think maybe we should check to see what everyone here is capable of before we, go into a jungle and explore without knowing what's going on. Now, I'm pretty straightforward. I kind of hold up the Warhammer. I use this pretty well. And I set it down.
And, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm Morovakri, and I'm well adept in the arcane arts, as I, snap my fingers and make his maul light up, and then make it unlight, and then kind of move my familiar guy around with snapping my fingers. This is Blip. He's my helpful companion.
If you touch Blip, I'll rip your face off. I'm sorry. Please leave Blip alone.
Blip, by the way, is a purple and white gecko.
Nobody else?
I am
go
Cobra,
ahead.
mercenary, and monster expert.
I see we're helpful in that tomb earlier, but look forward to seeing what you can do.
I nod at him.
Well, if you're looking for confirmation, I can assure you I'm quite capable of killing. And with my weapon, well, you'll see that in time.
Oh, you could shave with that edge. I'm Kuratov, part-time big game hunter, full-time clown. And as I'm talking, I keep adding more daggers that I'm juggling, and by the end I'm juggling all 5.
Oh,
Sleight of hand.
Performance check.
Or performance, whichever you prefer.
What was the 2 you said, Blake?
Sleight of hand or performance.
Of course, my +8 is the most of it.
Alright, well, 13's not bad. He manages to juggle all 5.
oh,
It's not perfect, but it's better than any of you could do.
Full time, hey?
Fun times.
what else can you juggle?
I don't know. Anything, just about, that will fit in my hand.
I look through my bag.
I give you.
How about these torches?
How many torches does he have there?
I have 10.
I give you a hammer.
Well, I can definitely put the hammer in the rotation. An extra 10 torches might be a bit much.
Alright.
Ignore that.
Okay. Alright.
How far away are you standing from me, Logan?
I picture we're all kind of in a circle here, so I don't know, like 2 feet away if you're the guy next to me.
Yeah, this kind of entryway is maybe like 20 feet long, or 20 feet wide. So you're all
Alright.
pretty close. So you guys go and wait in the sitting room, or is there anything else you'd like to do out here?
I wanted to hear Sad Boy's story.
Sure.
I was hoping that you would forget about me. My Lord has not given us abilities that are as showy as some, but I assure you, you will not perish before the hour of your preordained death. And as he says this, you guys start to hear very creepy whispers coming from indistinguishable points around you.
Oh my god.
How creepy? Like a solid 8 out of 10?
Yeah, pretty creepy.
Alright, alright.
And then they just cut off when I stop talking.
Oh. I'm gonna go to the sitting room after hearing that.
Go into a
Oh, I thought
corner
we were
and
all in the
cry.
sitting room.
Well, you are now.
Yeah, I'm kind of slowly walking around the rooms that they told us about and almost looking at how nice this place is as if it was a museum.
All right. The sitting room. A large jute rug leads into the sitting room, where a small hardwood table in the center of the room is surrounded on all sides by comfortable pillows, laid in a manner that implies they're used for sitting or kneeling on. An ornate tea set rests atop the table. It and the pillows remind you of hospitality, but they're starkly contrasted by two sets of crossed swords hung on each of the room's four walls. You wait in the room for a short time before a tall but lanky Chultan man enters the room, dressed in fine silks with a braided beard and disarming smile. And that is this gentleman.
Oh, I forgot the apostrophe in his name. How could I?
Yeah, I did not have that either.
To be fair, I didn't write it down in the intro notes either, so yeah. He says, "Greetings, my friends. I'm Okongo Tamu, one of the merchant princes here in Port Nyanzaru. I understand you're here on behalf of my good friend Sindra Sylvain. What is it that I can do for you today?" He then flicks his wrist, and there's a brief flash of arcane energy as the small fire pot beneath the teapot ignites to life and fills the room with the smell of mint. He then takes a seat on one of the pillows.
I guess. Well, we're looking for something to stop that curse. But I have a question for you first here.
Of course.
How many people has he sent at this point for us? Or
Oh,
she?
you mean Sindra?
Yes.
He thinks for a moment. Well, they started showing up about a week ago. I believe 12 so far?
Groups or people?
Individuals.
Oh, okay. Marginally less concerning.
Wasn't a very deep group, I guess.
True. Well, I'm sure you're familiar with what she called the death curse.
Yes, she seems to be afflicted by it in some way, and her connections believe it's caused by the Soulmonger artifact, and it's hidden somewhere in the jungles of Chult. I can't say that I believe it myself, but I trust her judgment.
She said that you might know where to find it? Question mark. Right?
No, she said you should speak with him, though.
Oh,
Like he was able to help us
she.
while we're here.
We're here to find that for her, and she suggested we search you out as a starting point.
see. Well, it was quite wise of you to do so. There are many adventurers or other individuals who go off into the jungles of Chult to seek their fortunes. Many don't return for one reason or another. It's a very dangerous area outside of the city. I would highly recommend that you hire a guide to lead you into the jungles. Not only would it increase your chances of survival, but it would also prevent you from breaking the law.
Illegal to go in the jungle without a guide?
Well, it's illegal to go into the jungle without a writ of exploration. Though I'm certain many have left without one. If you happen to run into a flaming fist patrol in the jungle and do not have one, they will not be very kind.
Only certified guides can get their hands on that, or you go to city council to get one?
Yes and no. All of the legitimate guides are employed by Jabal. He's another of the merchant princes here in the city, and he has a monopoly of sorts on legitimate guides. Any one of his employees would be up to the task, from what I understand. They are quite expensive, though. The usual going rate is 5 gold pieces per day, with an upfront payment of 30 days.
Oh!
600? Did I do my math bad there? Jeez.
It should be 150, I think.
Jeez, yeah, I don't know. Math teacher, yay.
No, Samson's intellect.
Oh yeah, good
It's
point.
Proper RP.
Good role playing, Brett.
Samson's intellect should be high enough that he should be able to multiply that.
Alright. Well, sounds like we're gonna have a couple days of setup. While we're here, where's a good place to stay?
In that regard, you can actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone, as it were. There's 2 primary inns here in the city. Both can be found near the Red Bazaar. There's the Thundering Lizard, the less expensive of the 2, but also the rowdier of the 2. And there's also Kaya's House of Repose. If you actually want to get a good night's sleep, I'd recommend there.
What was the first one called?
The Thundering Lizard. And the second was Kaya's House of Repose.
Where's a good face paint salesman?
If you're looking for that, I'd recommend checking out the Dye Works.
Don't have enough already.
This a little bit sweatier work than usual.
And if one were to want a gem, could I find one of those at the Red Bazaar?
You possibly could, although I'd recommend checking the Jewel Market. It's the third of the 3 major marketplaces in the city. The Grand Souk being the most opulent.
You wouldn't happen to have a map, so this all makes sense to us?
I may have one somewhere. One moment. He kind of beckons over one of his guards and whispers to him, and he goes off. Returns not too much time later with a map that conveniently looks a lot like the one you're looking at.
I would like to hold on to that if you don't mind.
Alright, perfect. Now, those places you mentioned, could you point to them on the map so we know where we're going?
Certainly. So, I will reveal a few of these locations. So,
We're going
here...
to the boat.
Just This is everything you'll need over here. Oh, I can't mark
So
it for.
here is where Wakonga is. This is where his villa is.
Number 5.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
a few other villas that are also marked with 5, but they're kind of like up here. And maybe in a few other places. Over here... God damn Blair. Well, there not. Over here, he tells you this is the Grand Souk. And down further south here is the Red Bazaar.
Which
He
one?
points
Oh, where
the Red Bazaar.
Yeah, I
He
see.
points out. Oh, the nameplate doesn't display, unfortunately. He points out this. I'm just gonna make it a different color, so it is. Or did that show up there now? The
I just
nameplate?
seen 218s.
18.
Okay. I'll make that one red. That one he points out as the Thundering Lizard.
The red one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's the lizard, alright.
And over here, he points out Kaya's House of Repose.
Oh,
Ooh.
Okay.
Hmm.
Put that on the token there really quick. So I can... Okay. Alright. Oh, shit. There we go. Alright. Oh, that one's still on the token mark. There we go. Professional, by the way. Alright. So he points out those locations to you.
Alright.
And also kind of finishes up the thought he had was you could find their legitimate guides, I should say, at either the Thundering Lizard or Kaya's House of Repose. If they're not there in person, they have postings of their services.
Yes, I have a question for you about the last people who came through. Do you happen to know where they went when they went into the jungles?
I unfortunately don't know.
Would
But
Jubal know?
Possibly, but I don't think he would know himself. One of his guides might know.
Did the guides return without them?
I don't think they might not have hired a guide, from what I remember. Or if they did, I think all the guides are currently in town.
well, it might be worth talking to them just in case.
You could certainly inquire with the guides. Well, if you are to head off into the jungle, there is something else that I could ask of you. As soon as I find this here. Nope, that's not it.
Look, the overlay
Sorry,
just
there's a
doesn't
lot
even-
of handouts. He pulls out a kind of dried out, but you can clearly see at one point it was very waterlogged, journal. That's kind of bound in this fading red leather. This... What the hell was that?
You're fine.
Oh, there we go.
Hello?
Hello?
Sorry for that.
Right. This was found in the jungle about 5 years ago. And it appears to be the journal of some form of scholar. It details various explorations throughout the jungle, though his shorthand appears to be too vague to make out any real details. But one thing that does come up very often is the mention of a traveling companion by the name of Vor. And he flips open a page, and a depiction of this, as he shows you an amulet of some description.
Ooh. I hope it's not on stream though.
Right.
We're good. We're good.
All right.
I would very much like this amulet to be found, and any clues as to who Vorn might be would also be beneficial. For this, I can offer you a healing potion, a common healing potion each, as well as he looks kind of at Morovicry and says, "This might interest you," and pulls out a book. This is one of my old spell books, as I can clearly see you're a practitioner of the arcane arts as well. This may assist you.
Just has mage hand in Greece.
I don't know about you guys, but I was interested as soon as he said lost or book of a lost scholar.
Huh. I thought that you might be into that.
Well, he kind of points to you on your map where the book was found. I will do that here. Oh, it's underneath. God damn it.
How big are each one of these hexes, by the way?
This map is also to scale.
Oh!
Big. There's the scale in the bottom.
You're
Alright,
telling me
every time you do something like
Every
that, someone
hex
has
is
to
10
take
miles.
back. Every time you do something like that, every comment someone makes about you being a scuffed DM has to take it back.
I mean, I didn't make any of this. I literally bought it on Roll20.
Yeah.
No, Blake made it all.
It's very
Yes,
impressive.
of course I
That
did.
bait.
Yep.
Pay to win. Pay to win, DM.
Yeah. So, he marks this area here.
Ooh.
And that was where.
140 miles away.
Yep.
Well, sounds like we got a lot of fucking exploring to do, boys.
That is awesome.
140 miles through uncharted jungle.
What could possibly go wrong?
Absolutely nothing.
True. All right.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
I look around at the group and say, I would like to help him with this if you guys would.
That's a good start anywhere.
Whatever you want.
Excellent. I'll give you this journal, so you can use it or you can scour it for any clues. And he hands the journal to Morovicry.
I will take the journal. If I can spell journal. There we go.
For the sake of brevity, I'll go over a few other things that Wakanda would kind of let you know. As you've already been able to tell, it is hot as fuck. So, in terms of survival mechanics, you need to drink a lot of water. Minimum 2 gallons of fresh water a day, which is the equivalent of 4 water skins.
Damn.
He gave us one common healing potion each, right? And
No. He would give you the spellbook and the healing potions when you finish the quest.
oh, I thought it was up front.
What would I need to drink half of that?
I haven't quite decided, but for now we'll say yeah, half.
Right.
So 2 gallons of water a day.
Yeah. Uh.
Which is 4 water skins?
Yep.
Holy fuck.
What if we were to dress like children?
Mechanically, it wouldn't make any difference. You do notice though that, or you have noticed, I should say, that nobody really wears heavy armor. It's medium is kind of really rare to see as well. But in terms of mechanics, it won't impact you too much or at all, really.
Okay.
Yeah. But RP wise, you basically exude sweat at all times.
Just a greasy bastard walking around in the plate.
Yep. I mean,
Dragonborn.
make
What?
Hmm?
No,
Dragonborn.
you gotta pant.
You pant like a dog. I like it.
Oh,
Am I
no.
cold-blooded?
I don't know. Quick, someone get Jeremy Crawford on the line.
Have you ever heard of something called fucking Google Blake?
I'm
Hit a
doubting
lizard.
they would have that.
Oh, you...
Actually, there might have been some evidence that some dinosaurs could have been warm-blooded. So maybe dragons could have also
actually.
been warm-blooded.
They are
For the
warm-blooded.
sake of, yeah, for the sake of consistency, we'll say the rules will affect everyone the same, aside from those with fire resistance, for example. You can find something that'll help with water at either the Grand Souk or the Red Bazaar, known as rain catchers.
Is it
that are
3
sold
sticks
there.
and a
You can-
turtle shell?
Basically.
Nice. Just like the forest.
Are there
Yeah.
rivers in the jungle?
I would not recommend drinking from them.
Why?
Well, unless you want to have a bunch of blood-sucking leeches in your throat.
Yeah, that's a
I'd
valid
recommend-
reason.
I'd recommend steering clear.
Oh, does boiling help at all?
Or a filter.
I'm unsure, but it probably wouldn't hurt.
So, really what that means is we should avoid the water at most costs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Luckily, it's very rare to see a day here without at least some form of rain, from a light fog or a mist to a full-blown tropical storm.
It's just humid and hot as fuck. It
Yeah.
is a jungle, I guess. Checks out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a jungle out there.
But much. Alright. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything he would go over. Oh, there is one other thing. If you're not going to be leaving immediately, there are many things to do in the city. I believe the weekly dinosaur races are being held today. And I think they have some prisoners running the gauntlet of Executioner's Run today.
Those bows sound fucking awesome. Wait, is the one thing designed by Blake or by the book? Because if I can bet on it and it's designed by Blake, we're going there first.
I'll never tell.
If it's anything like his roulette, we'll get rich.
God dang. Alright. He points out the dinosaur races usually begin by the Grand Souk, kind of in this area, and loop around the Merchant's Ward and then back to the starting point. There's many spots along the way that you can watch from. There's definitely bookies who would be willing to take bets. There are 2 races, I believe, for today.
Time to go bet all the money today.
One for 2-legged dinosaurs and one for 4-legged. And he points out the Executioner's Run over here. in what he refers to as the Old City. So that would be this one here.
So could I take a guess that Executioner's Run is a bunch of people who've been sentenced to possibly die and have to go through an obstacle course to survive?
Yes, it can range from various crimes, whether it be petty theft, murder without a sanction, or any number of things that could get one placed into the executioner's run.
Making puns?
I haven't seen that yet, but I'm definitely tempted to bring that up next council meeting. So anyone who makes it to the end of the gauntlet wins their freedom. And he kind of like leans in. There are definitely a few who keep committing petty crimes to get back in the executioner's run. They kind of become a little bit of a local legend in that regard. I think actually that's how Shadow got famous.
Who?
Well, that and being the son of one of the princes, but he works for Jabal. He's one of the guides as well, but he doesn't typically operate outside of or inside of Port Nyanzaru. He operates out of Port. I forget the name of it. It's on the map. Fort Bellerin.
This is a lot to take in.
Yep. Alright. So by this point, you guys have probably had a couple cups of tea. There's been a few local delicacies brought out for your sampling pleasure. Is there anything else that you would wish to ask, or?
Nope.
Not really. I do want to talk to him once everyone else leaves.
Hey, hire a clown. You know,
All right. Well, if we're starting to filter out, I would kind of lean over to Maury.
Have always wanted to see a dinosaur.
And I do conveniently would like to go to that bazaar.
Hey guys, want to go to the bazaar?
Oh, I suppose he would have shown you the gem market as well. So you gotta figure out what number that is.
I thought he said I could get them at the Grand Souk as well as the jewel market.
You probably could. The jewel market would be your best bet, and actually, the jewel market is much closer.
Oh, thank God.
And
nope.
Die area.
Oh yeah, I point on to him on the map and say, "Is this a bridge or a wall?"
That is an archway.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up.
So number 10 here is the jewel market. And the dye works. Nope. No handout. I should have organized these better. The dye works is that one. He points way down here.
Oh. Well, that's inconvenient.
Perfect.
That one? I'm saying? I am.
Oh, north points to the right, by the way.
Yeah. There we go.
Like an upside down dwarven map.
Aha. Alright. So you guys begin to filter out.
I do, on the way out, say thanks for your hospitality, and I hope to meet you again in the future.
As do I. Any friend of Syndra's is a friend of mine.
Do people bow here?
Uh, not by custom, but I would not wish it either way.
Okay, I do not bow.
Alright. Alright, so the last one to exit the room. Kirov airship. What would you like to do?
Kirov airship.
Get on reporting.
I mentioned how Mr. O'Brien wants to make contacts in exotic cities for supply of his crazy animals and stuff. And if I catch anything out there and bring it back, if he'd be able to help me set up a way to send it back to Mr. O'Brien's circuit. Mr. O'Brien's got a lot of money, so he can pay for that.
Roll a persuasion check. Find the right
That's where I move my fucking persuasion.
Yeah.
Come on, first crit of the campaign. Oh, pretty close, pretty close.
Nice, nice. It's not really his area of expertise, but he does have a lot of connections and can probably make that work. It'd probably be wiser to speak with Ifran, or Ifan, I should say, who deals in beasts and beast training here in the city. Also one of the merchant princes. He's a bit... he would definitely be a lot harder to get a hold of.
Yeah, if he mentions him, would he be able to get me a letter of introduction to go meet him at some point?
With a 21, he could certainly write you one.
Alright.
You'll quickly pull out a parchment and a quill and quickly write you a letter of introduction.
I should add that to my... What was the other dude's name?
I'll put it in chat. It's Ifan Talroa. As he kind of hands you the letter, he whispers, I wouldn't trust him as far as you could throw him. Though he does control the monopoly on beasts of burden, racing animals, and training said beasts. It would be potentially more wise to not try and upset that balance.
Oh, I don't want to muscle in. I just want to trade with them.
Then,
Alright.
as long as you can offer him the right price, I'm sure you can work with him.
Perfect. Does he have guides of his own as well? I'd imagine
no.
they go and get these.
Jabal
No?
has a monopoly on guides and sellswords in the city, at least legitimate ones.
Legit. That's all Jabal.
Yes.
Alright. Alright. Thank you then. And I will leave.
He gives you a nod. Alright. And you guys head back out to the grounds. The same guard there who had brought you in leads you back out to the gates and says goodbye.
So as we were leaving and they were talking about wanting to go see the dinosaurs, I would say Zeno would very much like to watch the prisoners be executed.
As would I. I will accompany you.
Alright.
I I would also like to see the dinosaurs. Do you think we could split ways, watch our individual events, and meet back up?
I'll say for the sake of my own sanity that they are happening at different
Separate.
times, so you could watch
Oh,
both.
how convenient!
Yeah.
Aha! But before that, we are going to take a quick break because I really need to pee.
All right, be right back.
And we're back. Maybe. I don't know. Alright. So, would you guys like to do the dinosaur race first or executioner's run first?
Well, you tell us, since they're not happening at the same time. One has to happen before the other.
Yeah, which one's happening first?
Our decision affects when the races start.
It's like
Singers go to
dinosaur
the
races
northern
are-
one
events.
first.
The dinosaur races would be happening first.
All right,
Okay.
I go to the gem shop. On the way.
Okay. All right. The jewel market. Although you're not really familiar with the Grand Souk, you've kind of seen it on the map, and it looks like the jewel market is kind of stylized in the same way. It just looks a lot more exclusive, almost. You can see in this area a bunch of vendors with various jewels and precious stones, and it is choked with guards. You can see maybe around like 20 or so people going about through the stalls and shopping. Each of them looks to be very opulently dressed.
All right. I patiently wait for there to be what looks like an open shopkeeper.
There's a few of them open at the moment.
I approach the closest one.
All right. This one you approach is a kind of orange skin or orange furred tabaxi.
Hello.
Hello. And what can I do for you?
I am looking for a diamond.
Well, you've certainly come to the right place. I have the finest diamonds in all of Cholt.
Oh, that's very convenient. I need one worth 50 gold.
Quite an interesting choice. Are you sure I cannot interest you in something more in this range? And pulls out this very large, like fist-sized diamond. This is my pride and joy, you see.
Did you not hear the first time?
Yeah, I just need one worth 50 gold.
The ears kind of droop a little bit, and he goes, "Oh, very well," and puts the large diamond away and pulls out a much smaller one. This would be in the range of what you're looking for.
I guess through looking at it, can I tell if it's actually worth 50 gold and he's not trying to swindle me?
Roll an investigation check. From what you can tell, this is worth at least 50 gold.
All right. Yes, that looks like it would be perfect.
All right. This will run you 60 gold pieces.
She said that she wanted one that was 50 gold pieces.
No, it's
Yeah, so this is the closest one I have in stock at the moment.
it's all right. We're new here. I'll take it.
Excellent, a pleasure. Takes the gold from you and passes you the diamond. Please come again if you ever need any more gems or jewelry.
I stare daggers.
Thank you. And then I head away. Or back to the group.
Alright. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Where are the rest of you? Are you just waiting kind of nearby?
Anything else near this store that's slightly of interest?
In this area, it's mostly just the jewel market and random kind of taverns or living spaces and things of that nature.
Is there any street performers?
There are street performers everywhere.
Alright, I'm gonna go talk to one of them.
All right. You find this one, a tabaxi minstrel, plucking on a lute. And they're singing a song in common, which you catch the end of, which goes as, "Children run around and play, laugh and cheer your cares away. Mischief you must not accuse, or the witch will come and eat you." As a group of children before the minstrel just go, "Ooh," and they start like kind of jabbing at each other and they go, "The witch's gonna eat you! Not gonna eat you!"
Wait, and we're am I in range?
With your passive perception, you probably hear that, yeah.
While we're walking up, as I'm assuming I'm coming from behind the kids, right?
Yeah.
I hear that, and I start stomping up, and I start chanting fucking spookily. Violets are blue, and your blood is red. Your window was open. I'm under your bed.
Performance check.
Alright.
If I'm nearby, within 10 feet of the
Persuasion,
kids,
Logan.
That was persuasion. Try again.
I echo,
That's
I'm
oh,
under
right,
your bed in
performance.
one of their heads.
You divorce. Even though I'm supposed to be good at this.
If you heard me, Blake.
Sorry, what'd you say?
If I'm within 10 feet and heard that going on, I echo, I'm under your bed in one of the kids' heads.
Oh. Alright, so against that kid, I'm saying you have advantage.
The rest of the kids are just like, oh, whatever, you weirdo. Then one kid's just
Oh, no.
fucking pissing
We'll
his
get to
pants.
that. That kid just screams and runs away. The other kids, not knowing what the hell is going on, also scream and run away. The Tabaxi minstrel just starts laughing, and it's just like, oh, that was perfect. Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name?
I am Kuratov Grinhunter. Part-time big game hunter, full-time clown.
I see. You look like you're not from around here.
Nope. I travel with Mr. O'Brien's Wicked Circus, and circumstances led me to come to Chult to help him out.
Interesting. Well, I'm Feather in the Wind. And he shakes your hand, but you can just call me Feather.
Hello, Feather. What kind of performance do you specialize in?
I'm mostly a weaver of tales, accompanied by, and he kind of like does that thing from the Road to El Dorado with the lute, just accompanied by music.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys happen to have a, I don't know, Bard College or performance school of some kind around here? Seems like you got a lot of performers.
We don't have any formal place like that. Just kind of one of the many ways to earn a living.
Ah, yes. You got any performances later today, or just on the street, or you play at taverns?
Occasionally, but you can mostly find me wherever around the city I choose to sit and play.
No designated spots between performers?
Not
Just
really.
First come, first serve?
Yeah, that's about it.
Ah, good to know. As a street-level performer, any places of note in the city? Places you'd recommend a newcomer?
Aside from recommending the Red Bazaar, the Thundering Lizard, and Kaya's House of Repose, let's see. there are a few temples that you can usually find a few people around that are willing to give out a little bit. He tells you of the Temple of Savirus, the Temple of Gond, and the Temple of Soon. The Temple of Soon, particularly, being the best one for that type of thing, but hardest to get to. And I will reveal those on the map for you. So that is number. I don't remember where the hell everything is. Mm, 7 was the first one. All right. So 7 up here in the Merchant's Ward. 8 down here by the docks. Here's the Temple of Gond.
We can get him buff on movement speed on our mounts.
And
Just
9
kidding, it's only on foot. Feels bad.
is over here on this island that has this large bridge connecting to it.
Island with a oh.
Yeah. So they're all kind of in the area of the Merchant's Ward here.
Yeah.
Alright. He stands up, gives you a handshake and a bow, and says, "Well, I need to go find a new audience. Until I see you again." And starts kind of like skipping down the streets, playing the lute along the way.
Adios. All right.
Alright, so, let's see. The rest of you guys, while this was going on, I think... There it is. Zeno would be the only one to notice with your past perception. While Morovicree and Samson are talking to the merchant, they've definitely caught the attention of a couple of the guards who just kind of watch them to make sure they're not doing anything funny. With the 16 passive perception, you also notice one of what appears to be the my brain is not remembering the word at the moment. Someone else who's looking, one of the customers of the market also is keeping an eye on them.
Okay, the customer watching them, what do they look like?
They are a Cholton woman. They're kind of dressed in very opulent, fine robes. They have jewelry and a headpiece. And they seem to be just going about their business, but they have an eye on the two of them for sure. They don't seem like they're really going up to stalls or purchasing anything.
Interesting. All right.
Right. So, what would you like to do?
You get back, I'll be still just grumbling about how much of a ripoff that shop is.
I think we reconvene and go to the dinosaur race. Unless somebody else wants to do anything before the dinosaur race.
Nope, unless there's anything useful to do before getting there, but I don't think so.
Before we go, this one should point out that you are being watched. And I just point to the woman and the guards.
Interesting. I wonder if we're being watched just because we're not dressed. Or is everybody here dressed the same as those pictures? Like, are we very standoutish?
You definitely stand out, but there are, like, not everyone is dressed like that, but most of the Chaltons are. There are the odd kind of smatterings of like tabaxis or elves or dwarves or other humans from other places that are definitely dressed more akin to what they would normally wear other places.
Well, yeah, that the guards might just be watching us because we're different. But you said the guards and a person?
Yes, that woman.
Are they still watching us?
Once actually roll a perception check, Sansom.
Oh boy.
You got it. Oh, not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
Nice. When you take note of the individuals in question, you've now left kind of the area of the jewel market, and they don't seem to be watching you.
Okay.
In fact, you can't really pick them out from the crowd, but you can see
Gotcha.
that no one is directly looking at you.
I don't know much about these people yet, but maybe we should watch our pockets.
I pat down my my wallet, see if I've still got the same amount.
You check, and you still have the same amount.
What dinosaur races, anyone?
Yeah.
Sure.
All
I'm gonna watch some prisoners die.
right, you guys head over to the Grand Souk to watch the dinosaur races.
The grand suck.
Definitely.
For the boys.
Oh, there it is. Nice. All right. So,
Is a Diet Coke after work tomorrow?
hashtag not sponsored.
Not yet.
Oh, dang. Yeah. That shows.
Fucking rooster, man.
That isn't a rooster, that's a peacock.
Might as well be. All right.
They're breeding
So
them
as
for
you got-
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Get it. All right. So I'm assuming you guys want to like either head towards the starting position or kind of like up on the walkway here, where you can kind of like run around and watch the entirety of the race.
Yeah, more
Yep.
impersonal down there. I like to talk
Alright.
to people about them and see what the bets are. The odds and the info and who's who.
All right. So I write this down. I never wrote it down somewhere. I'll find it here eventually, but so for the first race is going to be the faster dinosaurs, those on kind of like two legs. So you have-
race, bug.
Yeah, pretty much. In this race, oh, I remember. I just edited that thing directly. Here it is. So in this race, there is a young Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh,
Oh,
There is a young Allosaurus.
holy fuck. You weren't lying when you said dinosaur race.
Nope. A second young Tyrannosaurus and a second Allosaurus. So two of each, with the names Big Honker, Bone Cruncher, Scarback, and Nasty Boy.
sorry, what was the third one?
Scarback,
Sorry, what was the first one?
Big Honker.
65 rolled on Big Honker.
We
All right, before you do that, you should definitely know the odds. So,
No, we
the
don't.
the odds on these individuals ranges. So, Big Honker is a crowd pleaser. They win a lot. The odds on them are not great. So it's 7-1.
I
Which the
mean,
payout would be whatever you wagered divided by 7, essentially. They're like
How
the
about-
shoe in.
How about the other ones?
The other ones, Bone Cruncher does come in from time to time. He's at a 2-1. And the Scarback is a 1-2. It's actually Scarback's last race. And people are kind of like hyped up about that. There's more than a few people going like, oh yeah, their Scarback's gonna win it this time, I just know it. And a few extra bets are being placed on him. And Nasty Boy,
nasty boy.
Allosaurus, who's got this almost reputation as being terrible, despite having a famous trainer of some description.
Oh,
The Karate Kid.
Oh, I guess I would have a question. I'd kind of poke someone. What happens to the dinosaurs once they're done racing?
Dinosaur Steakhouse.
I'm guessing they wait until the next race.
It's usually the rider tries to get them to stop first.
Oh, I meant
I
like
think he
if
meant-
it's Scarback's. If it's Scarback's last race, what is he
Uh,
like? Are they?
I'm
Do
not.
they let him go off into the wild, or do we get to have
Oh,
like
of course
Scarback
not.
steak, or how does that work?
Also, no.
Enter retirement. Lecter.
I'm guessing this one is a young Tyrannosaurus Rex. They'd either be released or used as a beast of burden. Juvenile Tyrannosauruses, and in fact adult ones, can be very difficult to keep in line. It's kind of a risk.
If he's a real good racer, he'd probably be sent to a stud farm.
Also potentially that.
Big honkers over there.
Because of his big honker.
Yeah. All right.
Are these animals native to this island?
Oh yes, you won't find them anywhere else.
I give a concerning look to the members of my group.
What are the odds on the last guy?
The odds on the last guy, Nasty Boy, was 1-3.
Oh,
So 65 gold on Nasty Boy is a good bet, you're saying.
well, it's a good payout.
Yeah. A good payout if he wins.
Alright, 15. I'm gonna place 15 gold on Nasty Boy.
Is it possible to interact with the dinosaurs?
It would definitely be illegal, but you could certainly try.
Do you mean interact with them to get a better idea before making a bet, or interact with them to rig the race in some way?
I meant like try and pet.
Right.
Logan, did that dink Nikki order food?
Nope, Nikki's gone. I thought, oh fuck, my order didn't ding me.
Well, it's here.
Yeah, I did.
Doorbell rang.
Alright.
Alright, so Durage is placing 15 gold on Nasty Boy.
You betcha.
5 on Scarback.
Okay.
I'm hurting a little bit from that gem, so I'm not going to do any gambling.
Gold.
This is
Okay.
where we have to. We end up having to delay the campaign a little bit because we're gonna have to go earn our money back after betting on dinosaurs. Because we gotta hire a guide.
Alright. Anyone else?
Logan, maybe? He had come to get his food.
No, I'm not gambling.
Okay.
All right. So,
I'm definitely watching the dinosaurs. I want to see how they interact and how they move.
Yeah, I'm very interested from the perspective of someone who's about to go into the jungle where these things are native.
Yeah, and
so
from
each. Sorry, go ahead.
and just from a big game hunter's perspective, also.
Yeah. So, these dinos aren't racing by themselves. They each have a jockey as well.
That makes it marginally safer.
Marginally, yes. All right. So the first heat begins. I'm going to roll to see what happens.
Big chonker pog.
Big honker, go!
Oh,
Big
you
honker.
betting, Cabin?
No.
Okay.
Noticed that instead of watching the race, Cobran seemed more interested in watching the people's reactions to the race.
All right. All right. It is. Oh. God damn.
Scarback pog.
It's pretty neck and neck the entire way. They're jostling for position, and I have to make another roll to actually determine the winner.
Wait, how long does this race go? They're going like all the way around the merchant's ward?
Yeah, I'll actually show you here really quickly, kind of the route.
He even has a video of the actual dinosaurs racing.
I wish. So there's the starting position, and that is the route they take.
Oh shit!
Oh, mine was way more scuffed.
Yeah, they kind of loop around and come back. So I gotta make one more roll. And it is
So
a
are
roll.
we like standing on one of the bridges over top of their route, or is
You
it kind of
could-
like barricaded off on the sides of the streets?
No, it is not.
Oh,
Jesus.
But you can definitely hear these things coming from a mile away. And
So do like people shopping around here, or going about, just like move out of the way as the dinosaurs run through?
yeah, pretty much.
how often does this happen?
Move, bitch.
Yeah, once a week.
Oh, okay. That's
And
pretty
it's Fey run,
frequent.
so that's every 10 days. Great. So, the close race towards the very end is Big
Scarback.
Honker, who
Oh.
comes out on top,
In
Oh,
frustration,
man.
in
followed by Bone
frustration,
Crusher.
I'm gonna look for a. Can I try and find a kid that looks really happy?
Roll a perception check.
Fuck.
Did you roll it? Oh,
There we go.
Oh damn.
not bad.
Within
Yeah,
100, within like 100 feet.
there's definitely more than a few watching the race. A lot
Alright,
of
I'm
them are just cheering and shouting the names as they go by.
Alright, I'm gonna point to that kid that looks really happy. I'm gonna cast a message at him. Because that was a random spell that I rolled. Arcantrip I rolled. And I'm gonna say, whisper to him, I'm gonna convince that jock to get that dinosaur to eat you. And then I'm gonna dip into the crowd.
Roll a stealth check.
Jesus!
God damn, alright. The kid turns around and goes, "What? Who said that? That's mean." And then you're already gone. And kind of like the parents of the child are like, who are you talking to?
I feel better.
Yeah. Alright. So Big Honker comes out on top.
His big nose reached over.
Alright, so that's 15 gold lost for Dirge and 5 for Samson. Alright, the second race of the four-legged dinosaurs, you've got a young Triceratops who's been on a bit of a hot streak. Hadrosaurus, which I don't even know what the fuck that is.
To
It's that
Google.
thing.
Oh.
I've got a token for it, but yeah.
Oh, it's an iguanodon.
Yeah.
This thing doesn't have four legs.
Yeah, it does.
It has 2 legs and 2 weird arms.
Well, it's in this race regardless.
Fuck.
Yeah, the token made it look a little weird, but yeah. All right. Anyways, there's a young Ankylosaurus, and
What was he supposed to do?
nope, that's a wrong thing.
He's 10
And
times
that's
overweight.
and a young Dimetrodon, or an aging Dimetrodon, I should say.
Dimetrodon.
They have the big sail on their back,
Bo-
right?
Yep.
Oh, I
How
thought.
windy is it?
So,
How windy is it? That's a valid question.
right now it is a pretty calm day.
Shit. Wait, that
So,
means he'll go
the-
straight.
Oh
Cool.
yeah. The Hadrosaurus, his name is Banana Candy. The Ankylosaurus named Grung Stomper. And the Dimetrodon Mountain Thunder.
What's the Triceratops named?
Oh yeah, sorry. The Triceratops is Ubtau's favorite.
What was that?
What's that one
How,
T-Rex?
how many grungs does Grung Stomper actually stomp?
And what is a
The-
grung?
The bookie just kind of looks at you and just sees you're kind of like a tire and goes, tourists. He stomped a lot.
Alright, fair enough.
Oh. I'll put 5 on Grung Stomper.
All right.
I don't even know the bet for it yet.
He didn't even tell you the odds.
No.
Okay. So the odds, Ubtau's favorite is 5-1. Grung Stomper is 1-1. And Banana Candy is 3-1. And Mountain Thunder is 1-7.
I'm not betting I'm too fucking broke.
All right, so Samson 5 gold on Grung Stomper. All right, anyone else?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
So this is going to be. Okay. So, Ubtau's favorite takes an early lead,
Oh.
but Mountain Thunder is actually not too far behind. Grung Stomper and Banana Candy are kind of bringing up the rear.
Nope.
Right there. Okay. And it is Ubtau's favorite who takes it. And everyone just kind of erupts and is like, yeah! 10 in a row! 10 in a row!
I kind of like I push over like a vase or something or a basket nearby.
Oh.
I just kind of start storming off.
All right. With a resounding crash, the vase hits the ground. But the cacophony of the streets is a lot, so it doesn't really pay too much mind to anyone. All right. With that, the races are over for the day.
How cool were they?
They were definitely exciting.
Nice.
The dinosaurs themselves kind of like ducking and weaving through the streets as onlookers and people who aren't really paying attention just kind of like cheer and jump out of the way respectively. It's definitely something.
Did I learn anything?
Roll a nature check.
Come on. Big money.
Fucking just garbage today.
Unfortunately, while you were trying to kind of ascertain some physiology or tricks that these creatures might employ, you just kind of get caught up in the race and don't really learn too much.
All right.
All right.
Cobran does not understand gambling.
It's fun. It's supposed to be fun.
I'm just steaming.
Why would one risk their hard-earned gold?
Well, if you picked right, it was quickly earned money.
I think people really like the adrenaline that it causes.
I'd have to stay away from it.
What was that?
I might have to stay away from it.
Just slowly trying to calm myself down.
Interesting.
So, with the races concluded, I take it you want to go and watch the executioners run.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
All right. All right. So you begin to head in this direction, through a large stone archway into the old city. Your gaze immediately falls upon two massive limestone ziggurats that jut up towards the sky, peaking around 100 feet at the apex. The lower levels are choked with ramshackle dwellings and shops, built into and on top of one another. Your vision kind of ascends the layers of the structure, and you see a large stone bridge connecting the upper middle sections of the two structures. Beyond that, towards the peaks, you see what is, at least compared to the ramshackle dwellings at street level, luxury dwellings among the top 2 to 3 floors, and a penthouse-like suite at the top. Further beyond these two monoliths, you see a third structure, reaching only about half the height of the two giants. Its lower floors choked with flowering plants, vines, and guards, each of them looking meaner and gruffer than the last. Towards the Executioner's Run, which is actually just in the middle of this street, kind of just cut right through. You walk up through the thoroughfare of the old city. You see a large rectangular pit, 15 feet deep, 50 feet wide, and 200 feet long, splitting the road in two. Within the pit, you see what amounts to an obstacle course, leading to dangling ropes at the far side of the pit. You glance down at the edges closest to you. You see iron cages, each damaged from the inside with claw and teeth marks.
I think I'd want to be down there.
So, at this current time, you see in these cages what looks like 2 velociraptors in each of the 4 cages. And across the pit from you, you see 4 men, all bound in chains, being escorted by guards and led kind of to the edge of the pit. Their shackles are taken off, and they descend into the pit and take a position about 30 feet ahead of the cages.
I guess for point of reference, are these velociraptors like Jurassic Park velociraptors, or are they like the more velociraptor sized stuff? Like I think there's are they like, I guess in the stat blocks, are they tiny?
I think these would be small.
Small, or yeah, small.
Yeah.
So they're not the
Yeah.
Deinonychus?
No.
Okay.
They're definitely a bit smaller than than any of you, but they definitely look vicious.
Gotcha.
Alright. And just like the previous event, this one can also be bet on. So here you can place bets on if one runner will make it out of the pit, if a certain or how many kills a certain animal will rack up, or how far one of the runners gets.
Oh.
Is that kind of famous dude part of the people right now?
You ask around a little bit. Doesn't appear to be.
What crimes did these guys commit?
One, the guy kind of like furthest from you, was murder without a sanction, and the rest were mostly petty theft.
He was
That
r-
guy.
Petty theft puts you in the raptor fucking gauntlet
Yeah.
with the dude that just killed a dude.
Yep.
all
Fuck, it feels
crimes
like if you're
equal.
gonna commit a crime, you might as well make it big dick, because it's gonna be the same punishment.
Maybe I should be careful about stuff.
What?
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
I
you
should be more careful about breaking stuff.
Yeah, I think that would be wise upon finding that out.
Here we are.
Is it just me or did Blake's mic get real scuffed?
I'm kind of leaned away from it at the moment.
That would do it.
I'm reading the book at the moment. Trying to find the actual.
Don't hurt yourself, oh my god.
Hey. I mean, good advice, but hey. Alright. Alright. There we go. So, anyone feeling lucky?
I do not have enough funds to bet reliably.
Wait, what's the odds on someone getting eaten?
100%.
Pretty much. The odds on like one person getting eaten, pretty much 100%.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna sit here happy then.
What are the rules of this gauntlet anyway? Are they just running to the other end, climb out
Yep.
anywhere?
So at the other end is kind of the only real place that you can climb out. There's a series of like ropes that have knots tied in them, so you can kind of like climb your way out. That is about 170 feet from where the runners start, and they're only 30 feet away from the velociraptors. But they're currently in cages, and you don't know how much of a head start the runners get.
Any other rules? Like, can they fight the raptors, or anything
They
like
could
that?
certainly try, but
They
that
could
probably
try?
won't end well.
They're all just out there in their gitch, or how are they running?
Yeah, pretty much. They've got.
Can they throw each other down?
It doesn't say they can't, so yes.
Sorry, how many raptors did you say there were?
There was 2 per cage, so that's about 8 raptors.
Yeah, basically two a dude.
Yeah,
And like 10 runners or
4 runners.
four runners?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Two per dude. I gotcha.
And how often does this happen? Like daily?
Not daily. It'd probably be like,
Whenever they have enough criminals?
yeah, more or less. Generally happens maybe like twice a week.
Jesus.
Alright, so I actually need to get different dice so I can tell them apart.
I don't think I'm gonna bet on this.
I'm more here to see what happens.
Yeah,
Alright.
back to spectating raptors.
Coburn's watching the crowd again instead of the race.
Okay. Alright, so this kind of well-dressed man goes up to the edge of the pit and with a whip in hand cracks it into the air, letting out this loud snapping sound as the runners take off. Holy... What? Okay. Three of the runners just rolled nat 20s.
Oh!
Picture no proof.
Alright, I'll take a picture of it.
Oh my god, it's real.
As Blake changes all of his dice
I
over
want to
Blaine's
see.
picture.
I want to see Blake's setup here.
Sweating there, spinning them.
Not
God, I
even
miss
rolling
rolling
20-sided
dice.
dice.
I know, right? Da.
Too bad stream can't see.
Yep. That work? There it goes.
Holy
Three
fuck.
20s and a 14. These guys aren't fucking around. All right, so they each get a success each. Let me just make a tally here really quick. Okay. At this point, the cages are opened and the velociraptors start chasing the runners.
Oh no.
All right. As soon as the cages are opened, the same three runners keep going full sprint.
Uh-oh.
One of them starts lagging behind a little bit and doesn't quite fumble, but gets damn close to it. And the Raptors kind of gain on him a little bit. He's definitely at the very back end of this. All right, next round. Oh,
Sorry, what's at the end of the thing? Is it like a rope or something to
at the
climb out
end
of?
are a series of ropes. There's
Series of ropes. Okay.
Yeah, there's two of them that can be used to climb out. Oh man, that was just some bad rolls. All right, so that would be three who succeeds. Everyone else fails. So one guy the first guy who kind of tripped, lets out a little bit of a cry, and that kind of distracts everyone, except for the one guy, kind of second closest to your edge. He just
We
keeps
know which
going.
one's the murderer. Sorry.
The murderer was the one furthest away from you.
Gotcha.
All right. The one guy who's falling behind, the Raptors are getting dangerously close to him.
Monk ass. Chad, hold me.
Oh my god. They all failed. Okay. So the guy at the back, he didn't roll a nat 1, but he rolled pretty goddamn bad. He is kind of like falling forward at this point, just trying to regain balance, and he runs head first into what appears to be some kind of like hurdle made out of a tree branch, and stops as three raptors pounce on him and start ripping him to shreds. Blood and viscera start flying everywhere.
What's the reaction of the crowd at Cobra?
Try to contain my smile.
Your smile is
Ugh,
contained
anus erection.
fairly well. The reaction of the crowd is a mixture of cheers, ridicule, and just like a good old-fashioned ooh.
Everybody is happy with this event.
Like watching the guy fall off the big balls and Wipeout. Ooh.
Yeah.
I
Right, so he is dead.
kind of look away.
Alright. So they all failed. Oh, man. That being said, the 7 other raptors are still going hard for these other 3 individuals. Alright, next round. Okay. So the murderer makes his check with another natural 20. This guy also makes his check.
How did he even get
That guy
caught?
fails. No, I don't know.
He wanted
Maybe
to get
he's
caught.
one of the guys who wants fame. Who knows?
Could have been, if it's an unsanctioned murder, he could have been drunk in a bar and
Also true. All right. So they are all at 3 successes and 2 failures. All right, next round. Oh, damn. All right. So the Raptors closing in on the murderer and the guy closest to you now. because the guy who was actually closest to you is dead.
Monkey
Uh,
ass.
Yeah, they start like nipping at the heels of these individuals, and one of them actually, on the guy who's closest to you, manages to grab hold and get purchase. The guy tries to like struggle and free himself, but he's beset on by another raptor, and is swiftly had his throat torn out.
Oh.
Seeing this, the murderer kind of freezes for a moment as another velociraptor pounces on him and tackles him to the ground. He struggles to try and free himself, but he's beset upon as well. Only one runner left, and he is getting close to the end, as most of the velociraptors now, except for maybe like two, are busy eating, for lack of a better word. He's at 4 successes and 2 failures. This will be the one to decide it. All right. All right, this fucking guy, he doesn't look back. He just keeps running, and with almost like cat-like agility, bounds up the rope, hand over hand, and claws his way out of the pit as the final 2 velociraptors jump up to try and grab him and just barely miss him as he pulls himself out. His arms fly into the air, and he just starts screaming as the crowd erupts in cheers.
Push him back in.
I'd be clapping.
What a shame.
All right. So, a brief kind of, not necessarily ceremony, but like rite is drawn up, and this individual is now a free person and absolved of their crime.
So what you're telling me is kill as many people as you want, but if you're really good at running away from raptors, just
Well, another one of the bookies actually pipes up as you ask this question and just goes, well, it's not always raptors. So whatever, it's more or less whatever we can catch.
So, in theory, it could be a bunch of small T-Rexes like we just seen in the dinosaur race.
In theory, but we probably wouldn't put T-Rexes in there. They're much more valuable.
Alright.
All right. But we have had jungle cats in there at some point, although we tend not to use those because they can find their way out of the pit in some in some cases. And yeah, that's not a good time.
I'd say.
All right. With that, that's the executioner's run. All right. So, what would you guys like to do now?
guess we should probably figure out what inn we need to go to. My vote would be less expensive one.
I second that.
All right. You
What was it
guys-
called?
The Thundering Lizard.
Thundering Lizard, right?
Yeah. All right. Pull out handout here. Okay. All right.
You know, that prisoner's run was pretty gruesome. I'm not sure that somebody who does some petty theft is worthy of the same kind as a murderer.
Agreed.
Or the same punishment, I mean.
The guilty man is free if adored by the public.
These are peculiar people.
It's
Perhaps
but
there's
an
more reason
extension-
than we understand, though.
This is but an extension of fate. Their end times are preordained.
I just kind of side eye. Just a little. All right.
I look around for the pamphlet.
Pamphlet.
Doomsayer.
Oh, I see. They have just nigh. Okay. Right. So you guys start making your way back through the old city. You pass by what appears to be a rundown tavern. I think Zeno be the only one to notice. The side of this tavern, kind of in an alleyway between it and a storehouse, you can see several flyers posted on the wall. They're just kind of flittering in the wind.
I guess I'd just go take a look at them.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Do I notice him fucking off?
Oh, yeah.
I'll go see what he's up to. It seems sus that he's just walking into a random alley.
I would just stop and see where.
Sir, are we close to the market board now?
You'd be like near this area here.
Sorry, where?
Oh.
Right around here.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
we're
So just
just right
between-
after the
Yeah.
right
So
after.
just right after the
Oh.
the ziggurat.
So we'd be heading into this greasy alley, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Zeno, as you inspect the flyer, you see this. I think that should show you. You see a flyer depicting 2 tabaxis and some words, if you would like, if someone wants to read it.
I'll hand it over to, after I'm done reading it, I'll just, like, without turning around, just reach back and hand it to Krutov.
Alright, well, I don't want to read it multiple times, so I'll make sure everyone's here. This might be interesting. I'll make sure we all come to the alley. I'm not going to the main street to read this out.
All right.
Beware Jabal and his no good flunkies. That merchant prince is as trustworthy as a sack of snakes, as are most of his guides. If you choose us, we will never lead you astray. River and Flask are up to the task. That's our motto. Chalt is our playground. We're fast, reliable, and know what we're doing. 5 gold pieces per day and a 30-day advance is what Jabal's flunkies demand. We're happy to serve as guides for only 4 gold pieces a day with no payment up front. Even better, we'll waive the fee entirely for equal shares of whatever treasure we help find.
Zeno, as you're watching Krutov read this aloud, you hear behind you 2 footfalls.
Turn.
Turning around, you see 2 tabaxi, the same 2 on the flyer. One on the ground leaning against the wall opposite of you, and one still on the roof, crouched down and using one hand to hold themselves up. The one on the ground stands about 5'5", with orange-brown fur, wearing well-used leather armor, and an eye patch over the right eye. On the other roof stands about, the other on the roof, I should say, stands about 5'8", as best you can tell, with light gray fur and wearing a plain brown poncho. The one on the ground says, "Well now, I don't think I've ever seen a more eclectic group of individuals in all of Chult. By the looks of you, I'd wager you're adventurers of some description." And we'll pick it up next time.
Hey.
These tabaxis just wait around for people to read their pamphlets.
You don't know.
God, they must be bored.
Fucking furries, man.
All right. Well, hope you guys had some fun exploring
Yeah.
Courtney and Zaru.
I did.
It's a very interesting place.
It's
All right,
very peculiar.
With that, we'll do our vote for inspiration.
Logan.
All right,
For,
we got one
for
for
his
Logan.
for his little poem that he did.
Five.
Could you give mine to... That was Brighton, right? That helped me?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll give mine to Brighton for helping me terrify the fuck out of a child.
I'm gonna go with Logan as well, mostly because you made me realize that my character has always hated clowns. And it helped me flesh out my character a little bit more.
Nice.
Well, I hate to do it, but I also got to give it to Logan for the puns.
Oh! Mine go to Zeno. For just being fucking awesome.
Thank you.
So I think that means Kuratov has it.
I'll just wait. Oh. Mine also goes to Zeno.
All right.
Now it's the DM vote.
No, I think Kuratov had 3.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's
I
3
thought
to
it was 2.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah. So unless we have some chat votes, it doesn't look like we do. The first one will go to Kuratov.
Hey.
Hey.
Can I give mine to Big Honker actually instead?
Yeah, Big Honker gets inspiration on the next race.
Big Conquer doesn't need any more help racing.
Nope. All right. With that, thanks everyone for watching. We'll pick up next week with Saltmarsh and Avernus. I think on Sunday for Avernus, I believe.
Yep.
And Monday for Saltmarsh. So we'll pick back up with Tomb 2 weeks from now. But join us next time for the continuation of those 2 campaigns.
Where we continue to make more deals that we can't possibly uphold in Avernus.
True.
The best part.
And Brighton, we should update our channel with a schedule.
Oh, yep.
I thought it had one. I guess it's just not accurate.
Yeah. Also, check out Coast Soundscapes on YouTube. I was using one of their tracks for the audio of Courtney and Zaru today, and it's amazing. Check them out.
Yeah, they are
Very
in our
immersive.
channel description.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Boo-boo.